another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this 8-sim base game family home. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1, and there should be a link in the description to the online gallery if that's an easier way for you to kind of access this build. And yeah, so like I said, it's an 8-sim base game family home, and I can't exactly remember how many bedrooms it has, but it's going to be kind of a high number. I've actually got the screenshots here, and I'll just kind of double check and see if I can quickly see how many bedrooms I can see. It looks like 5, I think, so about 5 beds, and they all have like, you know, 2 spaces in them, so really it could be for like 10 sims, but it is an 8-sim home. And I also, you know, you probably see it from the title, it is base game. Now, I don't do base game ones that often, but they are really, really good to do because it kind of challenges me to kind of use things that I wouldn't really use because, you know, as you probably do know, that I am addicted to the cats and dogs windows, and I pretty much use those in every single one of my builds. So, of course, I couldn't use those today. So kind of just those little things that I always kind of like to use in my builds, I kind of had to change. And also as well, you all seem to enjoy these builds as well because they are a lot more practical than some of my other builds where I kind of just go pack crazy with them. So, you know, this one's kind of accessible to everyone. So this is built on a 40 by 30 lot, and I placed it here in Willow Creek, but of course you don't have to place it there. And I'm so happy how it turned out, actually, especially the exterior, just kind of like how I did the thumbnail. It kind of just, I don't know why, it just looks really nice. I'm really just love this house. So it's got like the garage on the side as well, which is actually converted into a bedroom, because I know sometimes I do like a you know, like just like a gym in the garage, but I decided to make it into a bedroom today since there wasn't like loads of space, so I had to do that to kind of, you know, save some space, I suppose. And yeah, so we're just working on the train as well, because as you can see, we are doing a little bit of train tool editing, and not that much though. I really just did it for the front as like a sort of like a pathway going up to the garage, and because most of the time what I do is that I'll just use a roof and kind of just angle that to look like a ramp going up to the garage door. Well, that's another way to do it, is just using train editing. So that's what I did today, just kind of play around with that a little bit. And you know, it is a base game feature, so I might as well kind of use it today as well. So the landscaping as well, I mean, nothing too kind of different from normal because I actually only really use the base game landscaping items. That's one good thing about my builds, is that if you don't really have anything for, you know, you maybe have some missing packs, then the landscaping is going to be one of those things that's always going to be good because I always use base game ones. I've never really been a fan of the romantic garden stuff ones, and I don't really know why, to be honest. Sometimes I do use them, but the majority of the time I do just stick to the base game ones. I feel like sometimes the romantic garden stuff ones can maybe not kind of pair as well together with the base game ones, so I always just tend to stick to the base game ones, and we'll have more in base game for landscaping than other packs as well, so that's why I tend to go for base game for that. I wonder how many times I've said base game in the last like 10 seconds because I feel like I've just been repeating myself. Anyway, so you can see that we're just working on the landscaping now. Nothing too kind of extravagant about it though. I don't really go that complex with landscaping. I just, you know, have a few different things that I kind of choose, a few different plants, and that's kind of it really. And also as well, a big tip that I always have for landscaping is to choose a colour scheme. What I did was in the beginning, like when I started building, is that I'll just pick any plant out of the thing and just kind of pile it on, and it'll just be like a huge big rainbow like flower bed thing. So I kind of just choose these days like 1 or 2 colours. As you can see, we've got pink and white, and it just kind of keeps it a little bit more neater, I suppose, and it just kind of looks nice, I think. If you want to learn more about landscape and how I do it, I do actually have a landscape tutorial up where you can see the full process of how I do landscape and all the kind of details and stuff I have behind it as well, which might be a little bit like helpful information maybe. And yeah, so we're just working on this little fountain area here too, and those little fountain things, which the ones like just like the single little things with like the water spout coming out of them, and I always tend to miss those out for some reason, and I never really know why, but I did go ahead and put them in this build, and I've done it in the last couple of ones as well. So as you can see, we're working on the interior now, and what I actually did was, which is, I mean, it's not that like interesting, but as you can see here, this wall behind the kitchen, as you can see, it's not like a separate room itself. I actually put some windows on the kind of like the backsplash of the stove, and it's literally just on the other side of the wall. I just like, it's sort of like divided the space off because it's sort of like a very big room, this one, but it also kind of helped to keep it a little bit spacious at the same time. It's kind of a difficult thing to explain, but I just thought it was something a little bit different from what I normally do in my builds, so that's what I did here. And yeah, so, you know, the kitchen isn't that kind of, you know, extravagant or anything because it is only base game, but I'm still really happy how it turned out. And I really like these counters as well. I don't use them too often because I always tend to go for the parented ones, but these are a very good choice for me that I always tend to go for if it's not a parented ones. It's either these or the jungle adventure ones. Those seem to be my favourite. And as well, you can see with the wallpaper, I did go for this other one, which is sort of like a more older traditional style one, I would say. Recently, you may have noticed in the last couple of builds as well, but I have been trying to choose other types of wallpapers other than the very simple painted walls, you know, which has like the kind of like the trim on the top and bottom, just a simple white trim and like the painted wall. I've been trying to do like wallpapers and other things as well, just kind of switch it up a little bit, and that's what we did in today's build as well. So this is one of the bathrooms. I can't exactly remember how many there is, but I always tend to forget that actually, because this build I did on the 19th of January. It's currently the 4th of February that I'm doing this voiceover on, and I think this is going up on the 6th, I think. So I'm kind of a little bit advanced, but you know what, it's fine. I've mentioned this a few times as well, but I'm very ahead of my schedule at the minute for some reason. Like, I don't know why. I've just been in the mood to build, and then I've ended up having like 3 weeks of videos already done. So I've been trying to leave the voiceovers for them though, you know, like a day or two before the video goes up, because to keep it more relevant, I suppose. And yeah, so what I was talking about there with the bathroom, I just showed you one of the bathrooms because, again, like all my speed builds, I keep every single one of the bathrooms the same, and also as well, they are pretty much the same in every single one of my builds. Normally what I do is that I choose like this base game creamy coloured tile, and also the tiled sort of wallpaper colour swatch from Parenthood as well, and I pair those two together for most of my bathrooms and kind of keep it a light colour scheme. But I did go ahead and show you that today because I did have to choose some of the items, and that's what I went for. And I think there are about probably, I'm going to say 4 or 5 bathrooms, maybe even 6. It's normally like a similar amount to how many bedrooms there are, but I can't exactly remember how many it was because, as I said, it was a few days ago that I did this. But if you go to the gallery, always there, I put the correct number of bedrooms and bathrooms on the little drop down menu thing. So if you go to the page for this build, you'll see the correct amount. And yeah, so we're just working on one of the bedrooms here, and I don't really know if this is the master bedroom or not. It's kind of always really hard to tell, because some of them have, like, you know, really nice sort of sized room with like their own seating area, but then there'll be like a smaller room and that has an ensuite bathroom, so it's always really hard to decide in my builds which one is going to be like the master bedroom, because as you know, I don't really do kids rooms or personalized rooms. I keep everything nice and simple for you, so you can put any type of family into one of my builds. So that means it is sometimes hard to decide on what's going to be the master bedroom. When it comes to smaller homes, it's not really a problem, but bigger homes like this, it always seems to be. So I don't know, you can well, the thing is that I notice people in their speed builds say which one's the master bedroom and stuff. So if you do, you can like decide for yourself, or if it doesn't bother you, like it doesn't bother me, then that's fine. Anyway, so we're just working on a little greenhouse here as well. I couldn't put, like, you know, the plant arranging table and the bead box and stuff because that's from seasons, but there are a few different sort of, you know, planter boxes in there. I just went for those little ones. I don't really tend to go for those too often. I normally go for like the 2x2 square ones, but since it is a pretty small space, I couldn't really do that. And I've also just totally noticed that I didn't put a glass roof on top of the greenhouse. Oh no. So that's a little bit annoying. So if you're going to, well, you might not even use it, but if you do use it, then you may want to change that to a glass roof. Does it even matter though? I don't know if it does actually, because I know like some people like literally have like apartments and stuff and they grow plants and stuff in their apartments instead when they don't have an outdoor space. So maybe it doesn't. I don't know if the glass roof is necessary. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to change it, then feel free to do that. Anyway, so we're just working on this little wraparound porch sort of thing. It's not really a wraparound porch, not like to the front and back. It kind of just wraps around the back area a little bit more. And I just put like some barbecues and, well, one barbecue and a seating area there as well. So this one that we're working on right here is another bedroom, but this is the one that is on the garage area. So as you can see like the garage door windows, which I think looks fine. And as well, I normally do a gym in garages, but for this one I didn't. I know we do have some gym items from base game, but I don't think I did a gym in this build. So you could maybe, because like I said, there is 5 bedrooms, so that's maybe like 2 more beds than you need, or 1 bed, you know, because it's a double bed. So maybe you could change the garage actually back into a gym if you wanted to. because there will still be, you know, at least space for 8 Sims. And yes, so we're just working on this room here, which is the living room. As you can see, it is a pretty big room, so it's kind of divided into half. So we've got this area here, which has the TV and fireplace. And then there's a kind of like a section on the right side of the room, which has kind of like just more fancier sofas, I guess you could call it. And I sometimes do that actually with bigger homes. If there's the space for it, I'll do kind of like 2 living rooms. So one of them is more of the informal one with like a TV in it, and then there's a more formal one with like a bigger fireplace in. But since this kind of isn't, you know, the space for it, I kind of just combine the two in a way. And yeah, so I've actually already finished this voiceover like a few minutes ago, and just up until like this point, like at the 10-minute mark, I finished the voiceover and Sony Vegas just crashed. So it managed to auto-save itself, which was great. So I managed to kind of get my 10 minutes worth of my voiceover back, but it just went, like, stopped responding. I was like, oh my god, I've just spent like 15 minutes doing a voiceover and I've just for nothing. But luckily, I've only lost like 3 minutes worth of talking. So I might end up repeating myself, I don't know. That sometimes happens when these things happen, but you know what, it's okay. So we're working on another bedroom here. I think we've got like 2 more after this to do. You can also see that the hallways has already been done. I always tend to do the hallways off screen because I feel like they are a kind of just a boring thing really, and there's not really a lot you can do with them. I always end up just putting a few like console tables in, hallway tables, maybe a few seats here and there, bookshelf, paintings, and that's pretty much it really. So I always just tend to keep them out of the video because it's not really that interesting. So like I said, we've still got 2 bedrooms to do, but as you probably know in the last couple of builds, I have just been switching around the order I do things in, just keep a little bit more interesting, I suppose. So before we work on those last 2 bedrooms, we're doing this little area here, which is kind of like the study room, I would say. Now, it's not really a study room itself because it's kind of like in the middle of this hallway here, but it was a pretty big area, and I kind of thought it'd be nice to have more of like a family study room, I suppose, so it's more like open to everybody to use. And I didn't really have the space to do another full study room, but saying that, and also as well regarding the garage and how that's another bedroom, well, you could take that bedroom out of the garage really, because, you know, like there is 5 bedrooms in this build, which means there is space for 10 Sims to sleep. Now you're only going to have a maximum of 8, so what you could do is maybe take out that bedroom in, you know, the garage or one of the other ones, and kind of change it into a gym, because that's what I normally do with the garages anyways, that make it into a gym. As well with the kind of the study area as well, you could make it into like a multi-purpose entertainment room, so you maybe have like the gym area, you also have kind of like a I don't know, like a study desk thing, and do like an easel and some other things as well, so that's another option there too. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this voiceover here as we're going to be heading on to the screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of this build. If you have any more suggestions for builds and mansions or anything else you want to see next, that'd be really helpful to hear. Leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!